Oh wow, very good music. Is chiptunes.
Oh.
Because because chiptunes does make you feel like you're playing video games.
Hot Cheetos and Takis.
Hot Cheetos and Takis. Hot Cheetos and Takis. I can't get enough of those hot Cheetos and Takis.
Please get that out of here. Like right now.
Okay.
So,
welcome again to another edition of...
Not yet.
the Crumply Boss.
Yeah.
Crumply Boss.
Don't start yet.
The Crunchy Boss. Yo, you need to wipe those fingers off before
Yeah,
you get
those
straight
fingers.
red hands all up in there. Oh, you motherfucker. Just take a bath. Like,
It's like, yeah! I feel like pooping.
That's fucked up. I feel like pooping.
Are you good now? Or okay.
He's still suckling that.
So I guess we should probably just get this one started. Welcome again to another episode of The Final Boss. This is episode 10. We have a special guest with us today.
Hi.
This is Marshall,
That's Marshall, in case you didn't mention his name.
a.k.a. Keeper. Call him Keeper. It's way
Yeah.
cool.
Oh.
It's filthy.
Tell the lovely audiences where you work.
I'm a associate design intern at Monolith Productions.
Woo!
Yeah.
Monolith.
Badass. And you guys work in the same building, apparently.
We do work
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
in the
That's
same
a
that's
building.
small-ass world, isn't it?
I'm on floor 3. Marshall's on floor 2.
Yeah.
A little bit below, but that's okay.
You love
Your way up.
You love being on bottom, especially with Fat Tyler.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Everybody should be there.
Word, I feel that. Also, hey, I'm Jocelyn.
Yeah.
And that's Fat Tyler.
Jocelyn.
Fat towel over here.
And Raccoon Chad. Almost forgot my moniker for
You
a
don't want to
second.
forget that.
Mike, do you want to start us off for what games we've been playing?
Yeah, dude. Alright, so on the Steam sales, I picked up a game called Hitman Absolution.
You've been playing that pretty tough. I've been watching your activity.
I haven't been gaming as much, but that is my game of choice right now.
Okay.
It definitely stays true to the franchise. It has that nostalgia feel. I like it because you can play it stealthy or not. If you want to, you can just run in guns blazing. But in the end, it's more beneficial to play stealthy because you can't exit a level until you're not noticed or until everybody's been killed that's seen you. So it's either wipe the whole stage clear or be at least somewhat stealthy.
Wasn't it MGS2 where, like, all the enemies that you killed in the game, they would come back and, like, attack you? Or which game was that? Was that
think that was
MGS?
two.
That was 3.
Okay,
So it's
yeah.
when you're fighting this spirit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's tight. And then also, I like part of the reason I like this game is because there's so many different ways to complete a level. Like, there's no like one way to do it. There's so many different ways, and you can get perfect. You can get like perfect, like unseen. Like, it doesn't matter, you know. Like,
The sorrow.
I love that.
It's the sorrow.
The sorrow. And then I also I busted out my PSP that my friend Robert, shout outs to Robbie G, got me. And I got a game called Tactics Ogre, which is made by Square Enix, and it's basically a crazy, like, I just started playing it pretty recently, and I haven't gotten too deep into it, but it's pretty much Final Fantasy Tactics, but it's not Final Fantasy universe, and it's really weird, and it's actually really fun, though, and I'm gonna set it aside and finish Hitman first before I delve into it as much as I'd like, though.
Cool. I'm always a fan of tactics games.
Me too, dude.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
Marshall, what have you been playing recently?
I recently started playing Sword and Sorcery.
Yeah, Super
yeah.
Brothers, Sword and Sorcery. That game's so much fun.
Yeah, I picked it up for my phone.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be very good on the computer. Maybe I'm way...
I got it on the iPad,
Yes,
and
but-
I think it's perfect for the iPad because
Yeah.
it's one of those touch and like little things. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing that on the bus rides to work and stuff. And then I've also, when I'm not doing that on the bus ride in, I'm also trying to play through Shadowgate, which is an old NES game
Yeah.
for the RDP that I have. And that's, I think, one of the hardest games ever made, at least.
Yeah.
Not very well known, but very hard. So I've been trying to actually play through it. And that's, other than that, Minecraft.
Yeah.
Standby.
Always.
But that's about...
Always crafted.
Always crafted.
Yeah. Be crafted. Be crafted. Tyler?
I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil 6.
Still playing that game.
Honestly, yeah. They have, these different daily events. Okay, so if you're a member or if you sign up for ResidentEvil.net, it's a LinkedIn feature where they post all sorts of different events. So what's actually going on right now is all of your melee kills are racked up, and whoever has the most melee kills, well, as Raccoon Chad will tell you, I found out meleeing shit is so much fun in that game. We didn't fire a single bullet.
Yeah.
We just went around punching and kicking all of the zombies.
Yeah, the best thing to do is just melee. Like, there's really no point to fire your gun. Like, unless you're getting swarmed, but even then, like, sometimes they'll wait to take their turn to hit you. It's just like, okay, thanks.
So then you just dodge out of the way or do your little quick action attack.
Yeah.
And then just keep
Doesn't
meleeing.
matter. Yeah,
it's
you're
awesome.
Good. Yeah, you're good.
I found out there's a skill you can get, which it gives you an increased action bar.
Okay.
So you know how it stopped at 5? Mm-hmm. My bar is at 15 now.
Jesus Christ.
So I can just melee shit all day and I never get tired.
Wow.
God dang.
And so like I've already in like 2 days racked up 500 something melee kills, and right now the guy in first place has like 23,000 melee kills.
That's...
So yeah, I'm not even going to be in the top 1,000.
What
but
a jerk.
I'm still playing.
Shout out to that jerk.
Yeah. No. Shout out to the jerk who's ahead of him, who has like 13 quintillion points because he fucking like hacked the server or something.
Oh, it's actually a real number.
No,
too.
it's
I'm a math major. That's a real ass number. Quintillion?
Yeah, quintillion.
No, I did quintillion numbers all the time, dude.
But okay. Another cool thing about it is they actually will go on, and when people cheat like that, they strike their names from the like record.
Yeah.
So like, if somebody's obviously cheating, then like they correct it. They don't reward bullshit.
Capcom.
Yeah. No, like the dev team keeps working on the game. They keep like, there's routine updates. They've fixed the camera and stuff already. A lot of the like UI features, they're going back and like updating it so they actually like work. So it's pretty nice. They're listening to the community, keeping it relevant. Cool. Chad?
I've actually been playing quite a few games lately. I just beat Signed Mora. That's that Russian game. You've probably heard of it, Marshall.
Have I?
I don't know. I thought you were like on the up and up with like indie games. So
Usually, yeah, not so much lately though.
Okay.
Because I've been working too much.
Well, yeah. So Signed Mora is a Russian side-scrolling shoot 'em up. So it's like right up my alley. It's actually also a bullet hell game. So they give you like your little like your hitbox, which is a little circle usually in any bullet hell game. So that was fun. It's actually a really, really dark storyline because it's Russian, so obviously they're always depressed all the time.
Shouts to Russians.
Yeah, shouts to Russians. What's up? TF2, because of our lovely new event, TF Tuesdays.
TF Tuesdays.
Haven't actually had a chance to play with anybody yet, so really hoping that takes off. After failing at playing TF2, I started playing CSGO. More specifically, gun game, because that's my jam.
Arms race.
Arms race, whatever, dude. It's gun game. It's always gun game.
Gun game in your heart.
Yeah. And after our Kirby podcast, I went back and started playing Nightmare in Dreamland for the Game Boy Advance. Super fun.
I almost bought the Yarn game.
Oh, yeah, his Epic Yarn.
Yeah, I almost did. But it was like $30. I was like,
you know, that team is actually going to make another game, only like Yoshi. So it's going to be like another Yoshi story. And it's going to be in the same style of like the yarn and shit. You showed me that article, didn't you?
It's going to be Yoshi Yarn.
Tight.
Yeah.
Yarnshi?
Yarnshi.
Yeah.
It's so, okay, I'm just going to say.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, it's adorable because it starts out with your little outlined Yoshi, and then you eat something, and then he absorbs it, and then all of a sudden he turns into a little wool cloth stitched Yoshi egg, and then it's Yoshi, but he's like a sock boy.
It's like a sock puppet
version of Yoshi.
That's really cute.
Already, it looks adorable.
Cute. Yeah.
I'll play it.
And then I went back and played Kirby Superstar for the SNES, because fuck yeah. And then I've been playing a lot of Don't Starve, and that game is super filthy. I love Don't Starve.
That.
You should really get on it, dude.
I really want to.
You would like it a lot. It's fun. It's probably one of the funnest survival games. What?
It like the whole point of the game is that you need to die every now and then, so that it like because you learn stuff,
get
but
experience.
But what you learn, you only get to use in your next life, right?
No. Each time that you start a new game with a character, you don't have all the knowledge that your previous character had. The only thing that actually you get from dying is experience points. And the more experience points you get, different characters you unlock and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And then I played V because I remember playing the demo when that one first came out. I remember playing that, and goddamn, that game was frustrating. Got a little bit farther in it. It's really, really frustrating. I hate that dev guy, but also good job, great game. And then I started playing Borderlands 2 again, weirdly enough, and I found that that game is actually still fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I used to hate on it, and now it's fun again. Because I think it's because I used a golden key. Finally,
and then
so
you
I
just
actually got better guns.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Super
now I'll
lit.
play this game because I have a submachine gun that
Have
shoots
you been keeping up and every once in a while putting in some
Oh
of those
yeah,
codes?
I have like
Okay,
11.
good.
I don't have that many.
Yeah.
Chris has like 30, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I've been playing recently.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's tight, though.
Yeah. So I guess we should probably move on to our what?
Oh, sorry, I forgot that I actually played Halo 4 today.
Oh wow, how was
Yeah.
that?
Well, I was telling Mike about it actually, and it is, in my opinion, the Sonic 06 of Halo games.
The Sonic 06.
It
Wow.
is so bad. Like
Really?
it's glitchy. It's
Really?
It's not even like a well put together game in my mind.
Wow.
Like there was a part we were playing a four player co-op, and there was a part where there's a road and you have to walk down the road, obviously. And I was doing my usual jackass thing and just like trying to jump along the side of the wall and trying to get out of the world.
Yeah.
Well, everybody else was walking down the road and they were consistently falling through the world.
Oh wow.
And we actually had to like close out the game and restart it. And like they died like 4 times doing it, and we're there like, what the hell?
Wow.
And that was one of the bigger ones. And then it was like they added this stupid thing where if you try to go out of bounds and try to like explore the world,
Yeah.
it comes up with that return to the battlefield 10, 9, and it'll just kill you if
Oh.
you don't. But you can't go get your stuff because you're out of the battlefield. So it just kills you and then throws you back. It's like, nah, screw you. You're not allowed to explore our game.
That's really
like-
dumb. That's bad design. That's
Yeah.
bad. That's really bad design.
Yeah, it's
wow.
it's an infuriating game.
Wow.
And invisible walls and bad collision everywhere, and like it's
Shout out
just
to Microsoft.
yeah,
yeah.
I
Microsoft
guess.
Game Studios.
No,
Go
it's
343.
343.
Same thing.
Go 343. Good first game.
Yeah.
You're in
Yeah.
it to win it, baby.
It's fine. It sold like or fucking Halo hotcakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Everybody bought the game.
So before we get into our serious topic, let's get into the more interesting one that I am actually more excited about. The video game music one. So
Oh, yeah.
let's
Hell yeah.
let's whip out those questions. So Mike,
We'll
why
just-
don't you-
we'll just
or
do a
actually,
round-
Tyler, why don't you go
We should just
first?
do like round robin.
Never mind. Yeah.
We'll just do a round robin. We'll do one question each, and we'll just go down the line.
That's
Okay.
Is that tight? So that way it's not just hella question. All right, and then if somebody has the same question, you just cross it out or whatever.
Yeah.
'cause- all right. So, all right. My question is: do you guys think music can literally make or break a game? All right, not literally. Can it make or break a game? Like just make it tight or like make it awful?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree completely
Totally.
because there are games
Yeah.
that I play just because of the soundtrack.
FTL. No,
well,
you
I
actually like
actually
FTL,
legitimately
but the
love
soundtrack is a
FTL.
plus.
It
The
is
FTL
so
soundtrack
good.
is so good. I've never
I
played
used
that
it in the
game.
first podcast.
Shout
All
out to the
music.
podcast.
Yeah, the first one. You should go back and listen to it. It's like my favorite one.
I don't think I've ever actually played a game that I disliked because of the soundtrack. Now that I think about it,
That's
It's rare, but it happens.
That's
I
kinda
feel like
what
I
I'm
played
saying.
One. Yeah.
because like even the games that have like really awful soundtracks, like I love Bubble Bobble, but it only has that one song, and if you play it for long enough, it gets
It's
so
maddening.
annoying.
It's
Yeah.
maddening,
But
dude.
you still like it, and it's
Yeah.
still a great game.
Yeah.
So like,
It's charming in its own way. Like it's that's more of a nostalgic kind of thing, though.
Well, yeah.
That's different. So because like you're like when you hear that song, it's just like you go back to that time. It's like yeah, that was fun. Like that fuck that level though. You know.
so. I guess it seems like unanimous answer is that music can make a game but not break a game.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
your opinion though?
I agree. No,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I think too. Like, there's so many games where the game is fun, but then the soundtrack just adds something to it. Like you, especially if you're doing something really cool, or it's like an introduction to a game, and it's just like it just gets you so much more amped than just watching something or just playing a game. Like that's why playing games with headphones is my shit. Like,
Yeah.
I love like turning like my speakers up because I got decent speakers, but like putting headphones on and just like shutting everything else out and just like experiencing all the like cool ambience and like the soundtrack of games is really tied to me.
Yeah. Actually, there is one game that I just thought of that is actually the reason why I probably don't play it is because of the soundtrack, and that is
Borderlands 2?
no. Well, that's
No, I was
different
joking.
though.
I
Yeah.
know, I was joking.
But that one Phoenix game that I did a review on, what was it?
Oh, Phoenix Rainbow or something.
Phoenix HD. Yeah.
Phoenix HD.
The soundtrack to that game is just so boring. Like it's just horrible. Like it's just horrible. Like I feel that they just got any random asshole with like a Fruity Loops account and just like had him make a song, and it's just like very unimaginative. Like clearly they didn't put any thought into that, and it's just like if that soundtrack was better, I'd probably play it. So I don't know. That's just my opinion.
All right.
So
That's fair. That's tight. I like that.
Kind of going with yours, I guess. What do you guys think of games that like use music to influence the context and design? So like, and I'm not talking like Guitar Hero because that's
no, I understand.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
like I was talking about because I've been playing Sword and Sorcery lately, and
Yeah.
it's got a lot of subtle hints, I guess, that like
Shoutouts to Jim Guthrie.
Jimothy.
He made the soundtrack.
and like Fallout 3. I was thinking about that a lot, and how it's like they have that whole quest where you can actually go to the Galaxy News Radio like tower, and then you can use that. You can actually do the quest to expand the range of your radio, so you can listen to radio everywhere instead of just like in the zone.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
like things like that, and you can also use your radio to like scout out certain areas, like with the alien crash site and stuff. It'll help you find it,
Okay.
stuff like that. So like, what do you got? Like, can you think of any interesting things for that? I guess is the question.
So, your question is,
Can you think of any good games that have used it to influence the design and the context of the game?
so
So like Ocarina of Time, for example, has a big influence of the context
Right.
for music.
Parappa the Rapper.
yeah, that game so good. I love Parappa the Rapper.
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I get what you're saying. Like, are you kind of also talking about how like the dynamics of the music will change depending on like the context of what's going on? Is that kind of what you're saying too? Like
A little bit, yeah.
when like when
Okay.
you get into action or like when you get into like a more dramatic scene, like not necessarily like a cut scene, but like something that's dramatic even within the game, like the music reflects upon it and like helps you, like it assists you with like what's going on, sort of.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Like kind of a break the fourth wall kind of thing.
Yeah.
Hitman does that a lot, actually.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, like, like, alright, I was playing a level and I fucking, like, fixed, a generator and then I, like, turned it on and then I watched this guy go over and pee on it and he died and, like, right, cause he was peeing on a fucking generator. I mean, you deserve to die at that point anyways, right? So the dude dies. And it's just like all of a sudden it's just like, bruh, and then it's just like, and then like all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I know I'm in deep shit because people are gonna find the body and like, I don't know, just shit like that. And like when you're sneaking, like the music gets quieter, and then like when you're like in combat, when you have to be in combat, like the music gets more intense and shit. Like, I love shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? Red Dead, actually, the way that
Yeah.
they engineered their music, it actually stacked as you did things. So as the game got more and more intense, like different instruments and stuff were introduced to the
That is
soundtrack.
so tight.
Well,
So
a lot of like really, really memorable games do that. Like Super Mario World, they did it. Like when
Yeah.
you got onto Yoshi, like the bongos would just start coming in there, you know. And another game that does it, Borderlands, like when like more mobs start showing up, just like the music starts getting like really, really intense. Just like you should be feeling, you know, really anxious right now because there's a lot of enemies around you. And like Mega Man X does it because like when you get into that boss battle, it's just like that music comes in. It's just like, here we
The
go.
new Devil May Cry, I can't remember who does the music for it, but just the new music that they've chosen really, it sets the atmosphere. And
Yeah.
like, I mean, that game is combo crazy.
Yeah.
And just as you're going around, like, the music fits all the visuals.
Okay.
And like, back to Red Dead, there's other points where like, if you have long horseback rides, like you'll be going through the countryside and it'll just like, put on like some of those awesome little like, old westy, you know, just like, it's the perfect music and you're just like, I'm in a movie.
Yeah.
Just galloping on your horse, just like, I don't care how long this takes because this is amazing right now.
another game that I just thought of that does that is Shadow of the Colossus, because like when you're riding to the battle, it's just like, you know, you hear like this, like the low part of the music, and then just like once you find the Colossus, just like, just like, oh shit, here we go. So,
As much as music makes things, also lack of music.
Yeah.
Because in certain situations, dead space.
Yeah.
When you
That really
there's
builds up tension.
there's parts of the game where you have to go out into space. It's dead silent.
Yeah,
there's
dead
no noise, and it's just
So good.
the lack of that and the emotion, and then like you come back in it, and then like you hear music again. It's like, oh well, like the lack of music, you just feel alone, and you're so focused, and then
Isolated,
it
yeah.
gives you even more. It just makes music cues just
Way more
that much more
dramatic.
effective.
Yeah.
I actually that was one of my questions too. And
I'm sorry.
It's cool. It's cool. But like Metro 2033 did the exact same thing, where like it was dead silent in certain tunnels. I actually to double check, because I put that on a list for like games with the music that I could think of. I actually had to go online and check to make sure there wasn't a soundtrack. And there's like one song, and
wow.
it's a dude plays a guitar, and that's what it is.
Wow.
And it's actually in the game. So
Interesting.
That's the soundtrack.
Huh.
The game I just got reminded of is Flower and Flow. Both of those
love
games.
Flow.
The soundtracks for those games are like really good for that
Yeah.
exact reason, because as you pick up flowers, like it makes noise, but it does
Still
it
haven't
like
played that one.
in melody. You haven't played Flower?
No, but
Oh,
I really
dude.
wanted to.
I have it. You can come over and beat it in like an hour.
Okay.
It's a short game. But anyways, yeah, and like the way that like as like dangerous shit appears, like the music changes, but it still like tries to remain beautiful, but just like a little unnerving. Like it's
Yeah.
really they're really creative.
Like
with
they
that
switch
game.
kind of into a minor chord.
Yeah, exactly.
I can
They
I
just
can feel that.
Yeah, it's that game's tight.
One music cue that it's a new music thing that they put in the new Super Mario games, and it actually kind of bugs me. It's like everything is dancing along to the music in the background.
Yeah, that's
Because
kinda
it's like the
weird.
and like enemies will stop to like do a little jig with the music, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Everybody's in on it.
Not Mario.
Yeah,
though.
not Mario. Mario's just like, fuck everybody. I'm gonna fuck stomp. Take advantage of you. Just, yeah.
So tight.
Yeah.
Tyler,
So,
oh, go ahead.
oh, do you have, okay. No. All right. So I guess my question is, if you could have any song from a video game playing whenever you have sex, which one would you choose?
Guile theme.
Whoa! Hell yeah!
Pulling out all the stops right now.
America, dude. Damn, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, if you include music-related games, before you, or yeah, before you,
before you.
because it does it does like a climax.
Sugar is so good though. Like, like just getting the jig of it.
All right, so if not
Before you.
so if not that song, then I'd probably have to say, fuck, man.
You know you want the bubble theme, you know.
The bubble theme? God, that just sounds like a headache. Fuck. Hold on, let me refer. Oh, it would probably be like one of the songs from Mass Effect, actually, because that has like a hella like intense soundtrack, but it's like hella fucking beautiful at the same time.
All right,
Probably from Mass Effect 1. I think they had the best soundtrack.
Marshall.
I have no idea.
Really? You can't think of anything?
Well, immediately my mind went to like, it'd be hilarious. King K. Rool's theme.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, Funky Kong's theme.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's got that porno vibe
Yeah,
to
it does. It does.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I like that one.
I would probably go with probably the first boss theme from Mega Man X. I don't know. I can't really think of anything clever right now, so I'll just go with something boring and a good standby.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's fair. Alright. Do you guys think dubstep has officially taken over all game, well, not all, but a majority of game soundtracks?
Hell no.
I hope
Yes.
not.
Not-
No.
no.
No,
think so?
I'm not saying it's supposed to be a thing, but it is a fad right now.
Yeah.
Because everything is using dubstep.
Well, it's going to depend on context. Because, like, if it's like a fantasy game or something, that would be not happening.
Yeah, but
That would suck. I mean, I can see somebody doing it.
Yeah.
Good argument.
But it's present in a lot of trailers right now.
Yeah.
It's
True.
not so prevalent
Borderlands 2
in
They did
games.
it in the
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed trailer.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, that's not
Yeah, like
appropriate.
just
No, it's
more,
not.
yeah, more and
That's
more
really not
things. Like
appropriate.
it's just the staple. It's like, you know, what's gonna get the lowest common denominator hyped on our game?
Yeah.
Let's put dubstep in it.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
oh,
the lowest common denominator.
Because it's filthy. I don't know. That's how I feel. Like with all the commercials and shit, it's just like it seriously feels like every game that has commercials, except for Elder Scrolls Online, that I can think of off the top of my head, that's come out in the last
It'll happen.
6 months. Yeah, probably. that'll come out, or that's come out in the last 6 months. I can think of like has at least a dubstep song or version of the trailer that's official.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Stop.
please,
Stop. Yeah.
dubstep is not my shit.
So, Marshall?
Well, the one question was, you know, can you think of any good games that had a lack of music but executed it really well? That's Metro 2033, and I was going to say like Fallout as well to that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can just walk around with no music, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
But the other one was Amnesia, because in Amnesia they actually use music as like a creepy thing, because you don't realize that there's no music in the game until you hear like a small piano tune, and you're like, wait a second.
Well, that makes
silence is now
sense though.
creepy.
Yeah, like that makes sense though, because they need the lack of music to
Yeah.
like emphasize those parts, so you really recognize like, oh, there is something else playing in the background, because like you do need that. So
Yeah.
it's not just an aesthetic choice on their part. I think it's actually also a design choice because it makes sense.
totally.
But yeah, I agree completely.
I think there's actually there's actually a psychological term for that. Like, because now that I think about it, like in music, like you'll hear like, all right, I play drums. So if I sit here and like hit one cymbal like the entire song until like a certain point, then when I hit another cymbal or like hit my hi-hat, then it's just like it brings it out more because it wasn't there before. It just it changes the feel.
Yeah.
So it's like either way, like it's the same thing with throwing in like minor chords, like you were saying with Flower. It's like if you're sitting there and you're listening to this beautiful thing, and then all of a sudden just one minor chord pops in, you're just like, that doesn't feel fucking right at all.
Yeah, like your brain automatically just recognizes like, okay,
Yeah.
something's wrong here.
But if it's like littered with minor chords, then like you're going to like feel used to it, and then all of a sudden there's like a major chord, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
And it just throws you off. It's tight though. I like that kind of like musical dynamic, and I think it plays really well, like really, really well into video games because of that whole thing, because of like the mood, like the setting and stuff like that.
Well, that's because luckily enough, we live in the day and age when the standards of gaming has actually gone up and down at the same exact time. So like, there's really not that much of a middle ground for good games anymore.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed, like there's really like the middle class, I guess, of video games. Like it's non-existent now. It's either
Games
really
good or games
like really, really bad, or like usually really, really good, you know? So, but I mean, I'm glad that a lot of new games are coming out with like more music theory in their soundtracks, and I think that's what I'm really excited about.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I guess my second question would be, if you're stuck on a desert island with only 2 video game original soundtracks, which one would you pick and why?
All right, I would definitely pick
Only 2. Yeah.
Final Fantasy Tactics and
Good choice.
the Mega Man X original. X2 actually. I like the soundtrack from X2 better than X.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bastion and Skyrim.
Bastion.
the complete Final Fantasy IX soundtrack and Donkey Kong Country 2.
All right. I would probably go with X4.
X4 is excellent.
Yeah. And probably Kirby Superstar. Because, like, I want something, like, really intense and, like, really mellow and, like, fun to listen to.
That's kind of what I was going for, too.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
My next question that I feel like asking, because some of these aren't that tight. All right. If a soundtrack is good, will you purchase it though? It's
an interesting question.
Like I know part of it is like a collector's value, but like I know for you, like you really love the FTL soundtrack, and didn't it come with the game on Steam? I know a lot of indie games are doing that. Where
Some-
they'll-
Indie bundles do.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
the humble bundles pretty much always do that.
I actually went out of my way to buy a couple. And the ones that I did go out and buy was the one for FTL, and the other one was for God. It was a game that, man, I can't remember it. It was a game that I was like super hyped on, and I played all the time, other than FTL.
Was it around that Hotline Miami?
No, not Hotline Miami. It was.
You do like the music in that one though.
It's pretty cool. Yeah,
Okay.
it's very 80s and kind of like.
Drive.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember right now, but yeah, I did. If it's good enough, then yeah, I will buy it. I will go out of my way and buy it.
Word.
Yeah.
I bought the Bastion soundtrack before I bought the game. Before the game was even out.
Splice, that's what it was. It was
Oh,
Splice.
Splice.
That soundtrack is fucking good. It's like the perfect puzzle music, because it's like this light, like kind of classical like music, so it's just like, yeah, like I can really get into some puzzles right now. So I love that game.
I could really
love
fucks
puzzles.
with one or two puzzles in me.
Yeah, dude. I love that game.
I feel that.
Yeah.
The Bastion soundtrack.
Yeah, I bought that before the game even came out. Like, I pre-ordered the game, and then they released the soundtrack for, like, $5. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I listened, because they had it so you could, like, listen to the tracks, but then you could just, like, pay them, like, $5 or something like that. And then
Yeah,
the thing.
you know, now that
I was
you
like,
mention
yeah.
it, I actually have noticed a lot of games coming out, mainly indie, that like release their soundtracks because they're just like, you know, we're really proud of this because clearly we worked on not just the game but also the soundtrack, which is also really, really cool about indie games that I like.
Yeah. I wonder if Journey has their soundtrack out.
Oh, I still need to play that game.
I heard that game's perfect.
I know.
I watched my friend play part of it, but the only soundtracks that I own, I purchased 2 out of 3 of them. I purchased the Bastion one when I was at PAX this last year because I love that game. That's like the only thing I spent money on was the Super Giant thing. I bought like a fat bundle. When I was really young, I found the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time soundtrack in like a Suncoast or like one of those weird places you used to sell CDs. And then I downloaded because I can't find an American version of the Final Fantasy Tactics soundtrack.
Yeah,
Which is also in like the videos, the intro videos. I think I used one for the intro video. Tactics.
Tyler, what about you? Did you buy any video
Oh,
game
yeah.
soundtracks?
I bought the Final Fantasy IX soundtrack because that was like really the first Final Fantasy that I had just really gotten into. I tried to beat. Okay, side story. Final Fantasy VII, I borrowed it from a friend of mine, and I in a week, got all the way to disc 3, was primed to beat it, and then he took the discs back, and I didn't want to, like, spend $30, $40 to, like, buy the game, because I only needed to beat the last disc, and so, like, I had to wait 4 years before I could beat Final Fantasy VII. And so, like, in between that time, I picked up Final Fantasy IX and just super got into that game and just loved all the music from it. And, like, I used to just rock that soundtrack in my CD player, just go along listening to all the different village themes.
That's cute.
It was nice.
On that note, do you guys remember a time when you could take, like, PlayStation discs and put them in a CD player and actually put the soundtrack?
Yeah.
What
Yeah, I
happened
do
to that?
remember that. I don't
What the
know.
hell happened to that?
They want to sell them
Blu-ray
to us.
discs.
I guess.
Yeah.
I forgot
More
about
memory.
that.
It's so good. Like, the first game I ever found you could do that with was the Twisted Metal one.
Good choice.
That was like the first one I ever
That's a
found out
good
you
one
could
to
do it.
start off with, too, because that soundtrack's good. I just forgot about
That
that
game
one.
was awesome.
Mine was
Damn.
Monster Rancher.
Yeah, Monster Rancher. So, your next question?
Oh, what do you guys think of licensed music in games? Because, like, it's really hit or miss.
Yeah.
But the first one that came to mind for me was the first Borderlands intro, which was, like, my favorite intro into any game.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one was
Cage the
really
Elephant?
good.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
good one.
And Portal 2 had Exile Vilify in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Kingdom Hearts. My girlfriend brought that one.
Utada.
Daddy Hikari.
My girl, shout outs to Utada. You know, see you later.
As a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, I don't know, I liked it. The music fit. I like it. Licensed music in games.
I feel like in more modern games, I don't like it, but that's just because I hate most, like, I don't know, the Cage the Elephant song was dope.
Yeah.
Utada killed it, always. But
Let me remind you about a game that you used to play all the time that actually had a pretty good soundtrack too.
But what I was gonna say to redeem the whole idea of me not liking it was gonna be Tony Hawk Pro Skater, because it's just like that was the soundtrack of everybody's childhood
Skate.
that played that
Yeah.
shit. Skate. Yeah,
They had
and
a
Skate.
really good.
Skate killed it
yeah.
too. Well, that's just skateboard games. They just play ignorant music, and it's awesome.
It may be ignorant, but it's awesome.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
Stay ignorant.
I mean, I can say there've been a couple times, like, just different video games that, like, I've turned on just to hear, like, certain songs.
Like what game?
Well, no, I mean, like, Tony Hawk.
you don't have an example.
Oh, no, I was just talking in general, but, like, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, I've done that before.
Definitely.
Sonic Adventure.
Yes,
Some
Sonic
of those
Adventure
songs.
Too. Oh, girl.
Yeah, dude. Sonic Adventure.
Like, they weren't perfect, but just, like, they were good.
They were
At the speed of sound.
Got places to go, gotta
Follow my rainbow.
Alright, because that's literally the wackest thing. But that song's filthy.
Okay. My next question, I'm actually not a fan of.
Asking anyway.
Yeah, okay. What is your least favorite video game original soundtrack?
See, that's the hard part. I was thinking that too, but it's just like, if you don't like it, you're probably not gonna remember.
Yeah.
That's.
I would say, I know fucking there's a fucking game on.
If you say Katamari, then I'm probably going to tell you to bid your parents goodbye.
No. Katamari's amazing. I actually forgot about that soundtrack. Yeah. I know it's something I played on PS3 like pretty recently. You know what actually has the worst fucking soundtrack is the new Street Fighter games. Because all they do is just dubstep the shit out of the old song.
Yeah.
And like the themes are cool. Like they keep like making the themes cool. Good job on the themes, but as like the intro songs and like the story songs are all just super awful and like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that game and actually just most fighting games just don't have that tight of soundtracks.
But
That's just me.
Guilty Gear has some sick
I never
music.
played Guilty Gear.
It's fucking tight. You should
I hear it's really hard. I heard
It's
like
not that hard.
in a competitive level that game's fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
I could
hear.
see that. I could see that. Marshall?
I'm running into that problem where I just don't remember. I know for a fact I hate the music in Shadowgate.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's like the same, like, couple bars over and over again, like all NES games.
Well, that's NES.
But, yeah, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, a lot of games I just turn the music off. Like in Minecraft, the music, I mean, it's great, but it got really annoying because it's the same thing over and over again.
Because you played it for a million hours.
Yeah. So I usually just put my own music on whenever I'm playing games like that.
Tyler?
I can't think of anything recently, but I know, okay, it's on the same topic of dubstep. In RE6, when you're, in the special versus modes, like, there's just this dubstep song that plays, and it's just womp 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 womp, and it's just, it doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're sent back to the, like, menu so many times, it just, like, it gets old after a while.
Yeah, again, I would just go with Phoenix HD because that's just awful. Like, I can't really think of anything else. That music is so bad and just, it's so horrible. Also Temple Run. That
Dude, fuck that.
Annoying as hell.
Fuck that.
So, okay, I get it. You're
People
playing
love
with drums.
that game.
It's fun, but the
It's
music
fun.
is dumb. It's stupid.
Pretty fun.
Yeah. Mike, next question.
My last question. Actually, I have two more questions, but one of them is pretty. We kind of we did when you did the island one.
Oh, okay.
But what's the most? No, it's all good. What's the most recent game you guys have played with like a soundtrack that you would say is memorable?
Well, Sword and Sorcery.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I figure.
bringing that
I
up
feel like
was
this
super
one
good.
is. I feel like this one's kind of already been answered, but I was.
Oh, that's fine. Tyler?
I haven't played it yet, but actually no, because I can't really. It's not like it's good music. It's just it fits the game well, and that's Devil May Cry.
Okay.
But I mean, I wouldn't
That makes
be
sense.
rocking that CD, but like playing it and hearing that music while I'm playing it, it fits.
Yeah. Word. Sign Mora doesn't really have, like, the soundtrack is good, but I wouldn't say it's, like, memorable. Probably the most memorable soundtrack that I've heard recently would have to be, again, Splice and FTL. Like, recently, most memorable, like, they're just so good. Like, I could seriously turn those things on, just listen to them all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, the Hitman soundtrack.
Yeah.
The Tactics Ogre game, the soundtrack is tight. It's not quite up to Final Fantasy Tactics,
Yeah.
but I'd say that, and then I played Flower recently, so Flower's just fucking tight. So yeah.
Marshall, next question?
Sure, yeah, this is my last one, I guess. And it's not even one I wrote down. But what do you guys think of stuff like the people who make video game music that isn't video game music? So like the video game orchestra, for example. They like go and they perform. Like, would you guys go to shows like that? Would you go to see the video game orchestra?
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
Cool.
I mean, I was very close to actually seeing Anamanaguchi
Yeah.
live at PAX once, but I was one day short, so I didn't get a chance to see them. I still want to see the Proto Men because of the Mega Man rock opera they made. Really kind of want to see that. Listen to it, I guess. I don't fucking know. There's another group that I've really been wanting to see, but yeah, I can't think of them right now. But yeah, those are the two, definitely.
Yeah. Apparently, when my friend Emily went to go see the video game orchestra last time,
Shout outs to Emily.
she actually sat like right behind Martin O'Donnell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
the guy
know
who
who
made
that
all
is.
he made all the Halo music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she was like freaking out the whole time,
That's
and like
cute.
actually met him. I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tyler?
I don't know. Come back to me. I'm still thinking.
Okay. Mike?
I probably wouldn't. I don't know. I'm pretty picky about music, and like for the most part, like when I was at PAX, like I have respect for people that do that because they are musicians. Like even if you're creating music on a computer, even if you're creating music on like a hacked device, like you're still creating music, and that's still tight. But I don't know if I would like spend money to go see a show like that.
I like people who use all sorts of different chip sound beats and just the different things you can come up with. I can't remember. Alex Blacklands, who's been on the podcast before, he got me into this guy. I can't remember who he is, but it's just all sorts of like glitch sounds and stuff like that, and just I don't know.
Square Pusher?
What's that?
Square Pusher?
Not Square Pusher.
Aphex Twin?
No.
Skinny puppy.
Skinny Puppy, maybe.
No.
Okay.
It's like something surfer. It's like, he just showed me to his SoundCloud and just the type just all that type of music, and then like hearing a live orchestra performing video game music, I think is really tight. Like, all of the Final Fantasy music, like they have like the London Philharmonic or something,
Yeah.
like they.
But would you go out of your way to like
Yeah.
go and see that? Okay.
Oh yeah,
cool.
like that's something like I would definitely go to that because it's just like them, and it's just like big orchestral and just powerful, and
Yeah.
like they have all sorts of like images coming up. Like I'd go if they was like a laser show with video game music, I'd be all over.
Oh
that.
yeah, dude. I would totally go with
I
you.
thought they'd do that there.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'd have to take my answer back then, because if somebody was like, "Hey, we're performing the entire Final Fantasy Tactics original soundtrack in original orchestral form," I would be like, "Well, yeah, we're doing it.
See, there you
We're
go.
done."
Yeah.
But as far as like bit tunes and stuff,
Yeah.
I'm not really a
Okay.
fan of bit tunes. Yeah, much. So.
So are you guys done with your questions?
My last question.
I still
yes.
have one more.
Yes,
but
actually.
I have a couple
I am
more actually.
done.
Okay.
Damn, overachiever.
Sorry. I actually yeah. Okay. If you could have any artist or composer sample or remix any song from a video game, who would you pick to sample or remix, and which song would you pick? or soundtrack.
God, you'd have to give me like weeks.
I don't
to
know
answer this
people's
question.
names, but
Like, okay, I guess I'll just because I kind of know.
No, let
this
me
one.
go first,
Okay.
actually, because I'm just gonna have fun with it. All right, so I would take the original composer from Mega Man X, and I would have him sample strictly Wiz Khalifa beats and make some sort of hip hop '80s hair metal something for whatever
Gold.
the fuck game I feel like it being in. Probably Elder Scrolls Online, because why not?
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a good answer.
Yeah.
I like that.
I know, me too.
Okay.
I feel confident.
Okay. All right.
Your turn now, because nobody else is
Well,
ready.
no, looks like you're ready to go.
I think I want producer Snafu. If you guys haven't heard of him, check him
I
out.
know Snafu, actually.
I want him to remake the Skyrim soundtrack.
That would be something.
Yeah, that would be something.
That would be a thing.
Mr. I don't like chiptunes.
Yeah.
That's why he's a chiptune artist.
But I've heard of him.
Tyler.
alright. I want Kanye West
Yeah.
Oh, God.
to do the next Metal Gear Solid theme.
Oh, wow.
That would be... You know what it would be? It would be every song that Knuckles was in for every Sonic Adventure 2 game. It would just be like, yo, I'm looking for rubies. Because I'm flying like that, bitch. My skin's red because I'm a fucking echidna. What the fuck's an echidna? That would be a lie. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but it'd be tight.
But it would be Kanye.
Yeah.
So it would
Kanye's
sound
got
way
beats.
cooler. I feel that.
I would probably have Daft Punk remix Kirby Superstar soundtrack. Because I feel like that's just like really energetic, like fun music, and then Daft Punk.
Which is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would love to listen to that.
I feel that.
And then, do you guys have one more question?
No.
Or, okay. You don't have one more, Marshall?
No, not really.
Okay. So I guess my last question for you guys is, if you had to only listen to music composed for video games for the rest of your life, not counting like, you know, Tony Hawk Pro Skater or Skate, games like that.
Not licensed music.
Yeah, not licensed music for the rest of your life, or never listen to any video game music at all, what would you choose? Like, the rest of your life.
I would choose never to listen to video game music.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I play music.
Could it be original music?
What do you mean?
Like, if okay, so you have licensed music on the radio, but like, what if they were like songs originally?
Like
create-
Utada. Because Utada actually did make those songs for
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts.
So like,
Okay.
if they just made songs
That's
up,
a different case. That actually counts as video game music then.
Well, because
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
made for
Because it was
Made
made,
for the game.
it was composed for video.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
it wouldn't count.
I could listen to video game music
So you would choose to just listen to video game music for the rest of your life and no.
as long as it was good.
Well,
That's
list
not the
all the
stipulation.
music for video games in the entire world right now. You can't.
Well, yeah, but I'd pick
That-
and choose.
You know what that means? You can never go to a sketch concert again.
That's fine.
Whoa!
He would
Shout
just-
outs to Shout outs to Lex Lingo.
Yeah, no, because then Lex Lingo would just have to make music for video games, and then I could listen to it.
Take a move, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's,
I would make
Video
Malice.
music, yeah.
You would
make
listen to
video
video
game
games for the rest of
music.
your life?
Totally. Yeah, well, because like, most of the music I listen to already
We're way
is.
too hardcore.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
What about you?
Oh, I would definitely listen to video game music for the rest of my life. Fuck regular music. I'll listen to that shit all day. I don't care.
Later Daft Punk.
Yeah. I don't care. It's fine with me.
I feel that.
What if they make remixes?
Shut up is
They
why.
can't.
Why not?
Just shut up.
I feel like there's loopholes I would
You're a
exploit
loophole.
so that I can
No.
listen to
Nope.
bands that
No.
just remix
Nope.
my
Can't
video
do
game
that.
music.
Nope.
It wasn't made
Not a part
for,
of the
It wasn't made
question.
for the video game.
yeah.
It was
Also
made
not a part of the question.
after the video game. It was post-game music.
But they can't
creation.
take that video game music and then remix it?
No, because it's not made for a video game.
Tyler, you're nitpicking.
It was made.
Stop.
It was made by a video game at that point,
Yeah.
not for a video game. It's just like guns don't kill people. Video games do, Tyler.
Oh.
There's my political statement today. Okay.
Suck on that, politicians. Okay, so let's move on to THQ and all those other
Oh. that
horrible things that's
Moving
happened.
right
So,
into tragedy.
yeah. Marshall, since you seem to be the most educated on this, why don't you just give everybody a brief history lesson, what's been going on recently.
In the past 2 weeks, 3 big game studios have, for all intents and purposes, shut down at this point. Gas Powered is still kind of edging. They're asking their fans what they're supposed to do. So it's Gas Powered Games is, they're looking not too great. And then THQ just shut down their doors, I think, on Thursday or Friday?
Yeah, that's when they released that video.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I actually saw the awesome video that you posted, I believe, or somebody posted.
The homie?
Of the 40,
Yeah.
dumping the Saints Row 40 out on the front of the steps. Mm-hmm. And then, Atari sold off all their assets and closed down, I believe.
And their logo too.
Yeah,
which is intense.
I believe Atari and THQ did basically the exact same thing where they filed Chapter 11 to try to recover themselves and then just said, well, this didn't work, and then shut down completely, I believe.
Yeah. From what I've heard, like I've actually been going on like Bloomberg and whatnot, and it seems like 9 times out of 10, like Chapter 11 bankruptcy usually doesn't work. Like even if they're like,
oh, we're gonna be fine.
Yeah, like, oh, we're gonna be fine.
Well, they're
but
going
like,
to say that. Of course they're going to say that. To not disrupt the stockholders. Like,
yeah. So, yeah. But, unless they're like a really, really big, like, powerful company like Trump,
Yeah.
Because he filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy actually a few times.
Yeah.
So.
I noticed he said that in the video. He listed so many companies. I was just like, damn. I was like, you guys are going to be fine. No.
Yeah, no. It's only the really, really fucking huge corporations.
Yeah.
for those who don't know, Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Yeah, right.
It's basically what it is. It's a company saying, like, we're falling apart and we need to restructure the whole business. It's not like we're shutting down, which is how I guess it's how I interpreted it originally too. But Chad, you looked it up.
Yeah, Alaska Airlines, this is just another example just to kind of like help people understand. Alaska Airlines apparently recently also filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, but people are still using Alaska Airlines planes and still flying. So that means that Chapter 11 bankruptcy means that a company can file for bankruptcy and void all of their debts, et cetera, all that shit, because that's what bankruptcy does, and still function as a company. So they can still do all the stuff that they usually did. It's just they have the government is kind of just like looking over their shoulder, making sure that they're not doing anything shisty or anything like that. Like they just have to be under the supervision of the government. So they can still do their business. It's just the government's going to be watching all of their steps, making sure they do nothing illegal. So, yeah. So they could recover. There is a possibility they could, but it's just like, probably not.
I have a weird feeling that has a lot to do with the stockholders. Like, if a company files for Chapter 11, you're going to sell your stock.
Yeah.
Which
my guess as to what's going to happen with these companies is they're just going to liquidate. And
that's already what THQ and...
Yeah.
But gas powered though.
Gas powered is a different situation, actually. They didn't file for bankruptcy.
Okay, so what happened with that then?
Gas powered, I'm not exactly sure what put them in this situation, but I guess they're just hemorrhaging money or something.
Yeah.
And he laid off most of his employees.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch the video on the Kickstarter for their new game Wildman, it's really sad. But the CEO of the company actually explains what he did. And the whole idea was he wanted to lay off his employees so that they got severance pay and they're still taken care of for a little while. Because if he didn't do that and their Kickstarter project failed, then he would have to lay everybody off with no severance pay, and then it would be just kind of well, we're done now, and the whole company's shut down. Mm. So what he's doing is he laid off his employees temporarily or until they get other work, and if their Kickstarter project comes back, then he'll rehire everybody for the project. It's kind of his way of taking care of his employees and his company instead of, he took the safe route instead of the risky route, because he said in the video that he didn't want to gamble with people's jobs.
Yeah.
He says that was not his place to do that, and it wasn't smart.
Was that gas powered or was that THQ?
That was gas powered.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, THQ was a completely different story. They just filed for Chapter 11 and then...
Okay.
Then they let everybody off.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I mean, I've never really played many THQ games. I can't really recall of any off the top of my head, or gas-powered, or Atari.
Recently.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, THQ, they were Metro 2033, they were,
Saints Row.
Obviously Saints Row.
Oh, yeah.
They were
yeah,
Darksiders.
Yeah, never mind, okay. Yeah.
I off the top of my head, those are the big ones. But, I'm sure they have a lot of other ones, and they probably have their fingers on a lot of pies, like everybody does. Like,
Yeah.
they're a really big company, so it's like
They gotta try to
WB owns
diversify.
so many companies.
Yeah.
I found out a couple weeks ago that they own Snowblind, and so like,
Huh.
I'm working with people who made Champions, which is
Mhm.
just,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
but so yeah,
Like when we moved into their old building, there was just Champions or NORAD stuff everywhere. Like
yeah,
Hook it up.
posters.
we got it in a glass case.
Well, I mean,
like cardboard
it's
cutouts.
a little late now.
Hook it up.
All the concept art is gone. Okay, somebody found this sweet picture that they drew of this like rampaging orc, and he's just like hella gnarly, and like they just went full detail on it, and his loincloth is up, and his just goblin penis is just all there, and someone's like yes, and pinned it up in their cubicle.
Nah,
awesome.
that's awesome.
It was pretty badass.
I back it.
Yeah. So what are everybody's thoughts and feelings on these rumblings in the video game world?
I'll let you guys go.
It's kind of a bummer, actually. Like, Atari, that's, like, really sad.
Well,
Atari
it's
is,
not
like,
the same Atari though. Like,
It's not. Well, no, it is.
Well-
Yeah, it is because they were bought out by the French.
Yeah, this is
Company.
actually the original Atari.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
but it's because like Atari was a different company, and then they changed their name. Like they bought the rights to the name of Atari.
Yeah, that's the French company.
Yeah.
And this is the Atari that actually is gone now. Is the original Atari that was bought
Okay.
by the French company.
Yeah.
What they were trying to do with Chapter 11 was actually get out from underneath the French company, but they ended up like killing themselves in the process, which is sad. But
It is sad, but
I think it's sad how the industry works now. Like, I don't know why some of these companies filed for bankruptcy or why these companies are just, like, falling, but obviously it has something to do with either A, mismanaging their money, or B, not getting enough sales. And part of it now is just, like, there's so many companies that get overlooked. Like, when you guys said THQ was closing, I was just like, I don't fucking know. Like, I can't remember the last time I played a THQ game, and then I realized I played 8 minutes of Metro 2033 within the last, like, month. And that game's
It's a
tight,
good
and I'm
game.
still gonna play it. I
Great game.
just set it aside for now, but regardless, it's like, what games you see on, like, YouTube commercials and, like, TV and shit like that, and, like, those games are owned by humongous companies, like Mass Effect and shit is owned by EA, and all these companies that we've talked about before and we fucking despise pretty much.
yeah.
And it's like, those are the companies that are still around, and it's because they have lock on these franchises that they know that people would go nuts over.
Yeah.
Which, fun story, EA bought, I don't remember what they bought, but they bought some of the stuff from THQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, this is just normal. Like, this is a normal everyday occurrence in the business world, Like, companies go up, they go down, they get bought out, they're not the same anymore. Like, it happens all the time. It's just, it sucks when it happens to a company that you're just like, oh man, like, that sucks. There goes THQ, there goes Atari, there goes, we won't know what's going to happen to Gas Powered Games. So, like, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's just, it's horrible when it happens to companies that you actually do give a shit about,
Yeah.
I'm super concerned about what happens to Metro because the Dead Island folks picked it up.
Oh, no.
And that kind of saddens me a little bit. Granted, they're just producing it,
Yeah.
which means that the same studio and stuff is going to be working on it because I believe it is a Russian studio
Yeah.
that made the game. And that's great because that means that they're out of the country and the Dead Island folks won't have that much influence over them.
Yeah.
Which is perfect because that means it'll hopefully stay pure. But for other things like we talked about it on the way here, the Darksiders possibly getting picked up by the Bayonetta folks.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They're looking to buy it on the cheap, so they haven't bought it yet. Because Darksiders is actually one of the ones that didn't get bought, which is weird. And everybody's kind of like, really?
Yeah.
That's a strange.
Yeah, that is
it's a big
weird.
IP, and it's just kind
Yeah.
of sitting there. So, but that would be scary because those are two very different games, as far as I gathered.
Weird. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It sucks, but I'm thinking to myself, this shit just happens all the time.
Yeah.
This is just business. This is just business as usual.
What's
You
scary
know?
though is it's three big companies.
Yeah.
In like the span of like a week,
I'm not a conspiracy nut. I have no theories.
Oh
on
no,
that.
no, no, no!
Yeah.
It's scary because it's just a bunch of them happening all at the same time, and it's like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
And I mean, especially because like Gas Power is right near Monolith. That's like Gas Power does that at a Redmond here,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. I remember reading.
so
that.
it's local.
Yeah.
And-
Well, yeah, and I mean, Zipper, they closed down not that long ago. It's just, it happens everywhere, and the only thing you can hope is that all of those, the developers, they're gonna be able to at least get jobs in other companies in the area. Like, I mean, a lot of people go over to Big Fish or Bungie,
Yeah.
and so, I mean, just hopping around, and then at least certain franchises have been bought, and they'll at least get to continue, and hopefully that, they'll make something of themselves so that this doesn't keep happening.
Yeah.
But it's really hard for developer studios to come up with really good franchises when they just have to put so much in and then they don't get anything back from it.
But like even when stuff like that happens, we can still get some good out of it. Like when the team at Blizzard that worked on Dota left and made League of Legends, we got the most popular game in the entire world. You know? And like shit like this happens, but like from the ashes we can still get some of the greatest games we'll ever play.
Well,
So it's like,
Dota was fan made, but you're right though.
yeah, like even though like yeah, this sucks, but if these people work hard enough and they really believe in what they want to do, like they can become their own company. They can leave and start their own company. Like they may just be devs, but they're in the business world. They know how to do this. They're prepared for shit like this, and they will do something about it. Like hence Riot became a company because
Yeah.
the people at Blizzard were just like, fuck you guys, like we're gonna make this game. We're not gonna have the fans wait for a game that we know they want to play. We're gonna do that because they want to fucking play it.
Yeah.
And like
And-
Platinum Games,
Yeah.
starting from Capcom.
Yeah. Like
So I guess
this
be on the lookout for new studios.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
That's true.
this
That's a
may
good outlook.
suck, but you know what? We might actually end up getting some of the greatest games from this.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing as
So-
like fertilizer, or like how when people say like, oh, when you like burn a forest down, or not a full forest.
yeah, like, no, I
You know what I'm
understand.
saying?
Yeah,
Like,
controlled fires.
yeah, and then
whatnot.
like it like creates life within the forest, or like
yeah, it puts more
Some
nutrients
poetic
back
shit.
into the ground.
exactly.
So
It was deep in my mind, but I just didn't have the words to express it.
yeah,
Right,
but
Yeah.
Niku?
yeah, but like this sucks, but we might get something really good from it. So I'm gonna hold out hope, which is weird because I'm usually really cynical. But yeah, we might end up getting some great games.
And I mean, certain studios bought different IPs, and I'm excited to see what they do with that. Like, THQ, they lost a lot of their assets. People picked up games. Different studios are going to do things with games that they've acquired now, and I mean, they're going to be amazing.
Yeah, I agree but disagree at the same time. I'm not excited. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I want to see what they do with it before I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be fucking tight. Like, I'm not excited that Disney owns Star Wars and J.J. Abrams is gonna do number 7. I'm curious. I'm not excited. I'm curious because I'm a masochist. But it's just like it's probably gonna be shit.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm good,
It's
but I'm gonna watch
Star
it.
Wars.
Yeah.
And just how the other Prometheus movie is going to come out. I'm not
Yeah.
excited, but I'm going to see it because I'm curious and I
you
want
have
to
to.
know. And
Yeah.
I have to because
What
I'm a
I'm
fan
worried
of
about?
aliens.
Chad,
It's
it's
like
okay to be a little curious.
reboots.
I know. I'm always been
What about
curious.
what?
I'm really worried about reboots. That's what I'm worried about. Like buying an old dead IP that's like,
Oh, yeah.
that nobody wants to see rebooted because it was previously. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but like,
Well,
Twisted Metal.
yeah,
Twisted Metal.
like we want to reboot Twisted
I'm
Metal.
sorry.
And it's like,
Yeah.
oh.
I don't have any hate for Twisted Metal, but in
first one was awesome.
2012, Twisted Metal doesn't have a place.
It doesn't.
Like, how long are you going to be entertained driving around shooting fools? Like,
Back in the day, it was
Demolition
fun shit.
Car Derby.
exactly.
Yeah. But now it's dated.
But now it's
Yeah.
2012.
But
and-
see, the thing is, like, it's weird that that's dated and that's not fun anymore. But when a game like
don't say
Mortal
Mario.
Kombat
Okay.
comes back, like when
Yeah.
MK9 dropped, everybody was like, "Oh shit, this is fucking filthy."
Well,
because
no, it's
they-
because
they-
it evolved.
fighting games.
Yeah,
it
it went in a
evolved.
different direction.
Yeah.
And this is a return. It was a return to form.
Yeah.
It went back to the 2D roots, and it worked.
Yeah.
And I personally think, like, what Marshall said, like, fighting games are timeless, and people are, like, Capcom especially loves to fucking tweak them and just, like, try to make them different. But that's the thing is, like, people don't want game changers in their games, the games that they play religiously. Like, I know people in the fighting scene, and, like, the biggest complaint with Marvel is X Factor. It's just like, nobody wants to slap a controller and then get superpowers instantly, depending on how bad you've been playing. Or in Street Fighter, like, get wailed on, and then your ultimate bar goes all the way up, and then you land one hit, and you can combo into an ability that does half of their HP. Like, people don't want to see that shit in their game. They want to see actual skillful, like, tactful, like, combos that come from those abilities. Like, that's the problem with a lot of modern day fighting games.
Yeah.
Especially that Capcom's making. Same thing with Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Like, yeah. And so, I feel like fighting games are timeless, but people are trying to put these, like, niches in it, and it's just really fucking shit up.
But going back to what you were saying, how a reboot could be a really, really bad thing. The reboot of Spider-Man, when what's his name, Todd McFarlane took it over and did his run from 1 to 100. Like, it was he had his own take on it, and you could really tell because, like, he was obviously influenced by Spawn, like, hence all the grittiness and the dark part of it. Because, like, when you really think about it, like, Spider-Man can be really, really dark, and Todd McFarlane saw that and was like, let's go in that direction and see what happens.
I love that movie.
And it was it's super memorable. Like, Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man is so fucking
Forever
good.
changing the way Spider-Man's web would be
Great.
drawn.
Yeah, and like it really opened people's eyes to a different side of Spider-Man. Like, yeah, like he's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, like he's really cool and like funny and like he'll tell jokes while he's kicking your ass. And on the other side of that coin, it's just like he's got this dark secret. There's all these people that want to kill him, and if he reveals his identity to his girlfriend, then she's gonna die too. And he's also like risking the life of the only person that's ever showed him love, which is his Aunt May. So it's just like, we could see something really good, like the reboot with Sly Cooper, which I'm really excited about, obviously.
Wait,
but,
you're not curious? You're excited?
I'm excited. Okay. I'm excited.
Good.
I'm ready to fall in love with it again.
Yes.
But yeah, like, I understand what you're saying, but I have to disagree. Like, I feel like it could end up being a really good, like, we could see a really, really great reboot of it. So,
It's
I mean,
few and far between, but sometimes
happens.
it just,
it happens.
Here, reboot request, Crazy Taxi. Can we get a new Crazy Taxi?
Power Stone.
Power Stone.
Jeez.
Yes?
Yeah, I love Power Stone.
Power Stone was so
I mean, I just want to see the return of Darkstalkers.
You and Chris,
It's gonna
both,
happen.
man. Yeah,
It's gonna happen. They have already released information that they're working on something that has merit.
Another game I'm super stoked for, it is Jump Ultimate Superstar 3, or it's the next step in the Jump series. So it's basically Shonen Jump is all of the different mangas that come out in its one big old collection. So you got Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Sailor Moon.
No.
Boo.
They're a manga for men. Or boys from
Yu Yu
like...
Hakusho.
Yeah. Yu Yu Hakusho's in there. So it's like...
Tenchi Muyo.
No.
We'll get it.
So from like, you know, like
Pokemans.
13 to 17, like that area, and it's like, you know, all the like action adventure sort of manga. Well, they made a fighting game for it. So
These are
it's
tight,
a
by the
giant amalgamation of all of those fighting each other. So you have Goku fighting Naruto, fighting Luffy from One Piece.
Yada yada.
And it's all just like, it's like Smash Brothers style almost.
Yeah.
And they've so far been on the DS for the first two games, and now it's coming to PlayStation 3 and the Vita, and it's about to be amazing.
Dude, get hyped.
Yeah,
It's
get
gonna be-
hyped.
It's like MVC. I played these before, and they're super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hate MVC.
MVC 2 is my favorite one. MVC 3 sucks.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
So that's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Online, guys.
Elder Scrolls Online.
What? So when is Thief 4 going to come out?
Thief 4? Never.
No, they're working on it.
They are?
What is this?
Yeah,
What?
Thief 4.
You never
Oh,
played
Thief? No, I never played Thief.
Oh, get on that.
Okay.
That
Sorry,
game's,
guys.
dude, I've never beaten a Thief game,
This
let
is that
alone...
stealth game that you guys
I
kept telling
beat
me
the first
about
one.
back
I
in the
played
day.
like a little bit of the second one. I was like, "What is this garbage?" And then I played the third one, and I was like, "Yeah, this is what it is."
There's the garbage.
And then, well, Thief 3 was based off the Splinter Cell engine. It was made using the Splinter Cell.
And you
So it
said
like
there was
medieval
no
Splinter
other...
Cell.
You said there was no stealth games besides Thief. You said that to me like a few months ago. You're like, I don't know any stealth games besides Thief. I'm like, well, you can play Hitman. You're like, that's not really a stealth game. I was like, you can play Metal Gear.
Well-
You're like, that's not a stealth game. I'm just like,
To me, a true stealth game, you have to stealth. And if you...
You're supposed to stealth in Metal Gear.
in Metal Gear.
Yes, but at the same time, you don't have to.
You don't have to in Thief either.
Yeah.
In Thief 1, you don't, but in Thief 3, you do. Because if you don't stealth in Thief 3, you will get massacred.
The whole idea of Metal Gear Solid is you're supposed to just bypass things.
Yeah,
you're
yeah, no, I
rewarded
get
for
that.
not killing.
Okay.
Same thing with Hitman.
Okay. See, I've only played like the early Hitmans where it's just like, oh, I have Uzis. I'm gonna shoot this guy and do
we'll
a
have
hammer.
double ballers.
Yeah, exactly.
Your bodies are now fucking
And the
6
only-
football fields away.
And the only reason that Thief 1 wasn't like purely stealth game was because the AI was so terrible you could kill them with a blackjack.
Yeah.
That was the only reason it wasn't like
And I still never killed anybody
you
in
could
that
box
game.
you
'cause I
could
was
box the
really
guards with a
bad.
blackjack and kill them eventually.
That's tight.
Just like jumping around and like it's good stuff.
Does anybody have anything else on the THQ topic before we...
It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad, but I have
Someone
high
else will
hopes.
be making my... I mean, I haven't played... Okay, really the only THQ games that I used to play were the WWE wrestling ones. Those are like the super early THQ games I was exposed to. Like, they were awesome. And then they haven't been that good in a long time, so
Yeah.
I don't think THQ will... Them going down, like... I'm bummed certain companies didn't get their hands on Saints Row, but, I mean, whoever has it now, they'll do something good with it. Like, Saints Row, it's a worthwhile franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as I stated several times before, I have high hopes.
He's curious,
I'm curious,
not excited.
like a cat, like a little kitty. So yeah, I guess that'll do it for this episode. Oh, what?
I just found a list of all of the sales of all the IPs.
All the sales.
So that's what was bought and sold.
Relic Studio and Company of Heroes winning bid $26.6 million by the Sega Corporation. THQ Montreal Studio with 1666 and Underdog winning bid $2.5 million by Ubisoft. Evolve IP, aka Metamorphosis, winning bid $10.894 million. Take-Two Interactive. Homefront, $544,218 by Crytek. Metro, which includes 2033 and 2034. Winning bid $5,877,551 by Koch Media. And South Park: The Stick of Truth, $3.26 million by Ubisoft. Wow, that's intense.
Yep.
That means that game can finally actually come out now.
Stick of Truth.
Yeah, it
I
was.
think it's in late beta.
Yeah, well, it was getting held up in ownership rights because THQ. Yeah, well, no. That was the whole thing, though, because THQ owned it, but then because THQ was going under, nobody owned it, so then they needed someone to buy it before the game could be released.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why it was so heartbreaking. It's like, you look at everything, it's like, this game's going to be amazing. Why would you ever jeopardize it not coming out?
That would have been the saddest thing ever if they just like, yep, it's never coming out. It's done. But
Yeah.
eh.
Yeah, you'll never play it,
Here, you have games printed.
THQ.
But, oh well, we'll
Yeah.
just put them in a box somewhere.
Just throw them away.
It's like, oh,
Let's burn these.
bury him in the desert with next to ET.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that'll do it for the final boss. I'm Raccoon Chad of Troll Stomp Gaming.
Hey, this is Jossum.
This is Keeper.
Hey, I'm Fat Tail 124.
Always have the 1, 2, 4.
Always.
Not 124.
No, not 124.
One,
It's
two.
1, 2.
1, 2, motherfucking 4.
1, 2. Fo.
Thanks again. If you like our iTunes, you should rate. If you don't, you should rate as well and tell us how shitty we are. You should also visit us.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Facebook.com/TrollStompGaming. Visit our website.
Bamblegramps.
TrollStompGaming.com. Check us out. See what you do. Whatever. Anyways, thanks for listening. Bye, guys.
Later.